All right, guys, we're here at the Wolfe Townhomes. We're standing right next to Jason of Modern Electric. He's the electrician on the project. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Modern Electric, we started about 8 years ago. I started it just me in a truck. Now we're up to about 20, 25 guys. And we do these type of projects, multifamily as well as commercial, residential service. So we're all-inclusive electrical contractor, and this is one of our, kind of niche projects.
All right, Jason, can you kind of let us know about the panel here, arc faults, and anything else a homeowner might not know about it?
Yeah, so this is a typical 200 amp interior panel. We have proper grounding, proper bonding within the panel. Once the panel is complete, when we're at the trim stage, there'll be arc fault and ground fault breakers all located within here. A lot of people will have sometimes what's called nuisance strips with arc faults. Some people don't know, but that's just the added protection of arc faults, making sure that there's no fire issue.
Alrighty, well, we made it up to the second floor. Up here, we're going to be talking about lighting. Jason, can you kind of run us through how you go about doing it and any other information that is kind of interesting to that build process?
So typically we'll follow the plans that are already designed. Your design team did a really good job on setting the lighting, but we'll walk with both your designer and general contractor to set the lighting with obstacles such as large framing elements, HVAC, plumbing, and we'll walk all that to get everything dialed in so that it looks aesthetically pleasing to the potential homeowner. We'll typically do what's called a box walk. So we'll run through, we'll make all these marks here on the ceiling. We'll put up the cans, just the cans themselves, and then we'll box them, and then we wire them once all the design is completely approved by both design team and general contractor.
And then kind of going off of that, kind of over here, we've been talking about fireproofing a lot in this unit. So can you tell us a little bit why this is done?
So this is a fire foam that they'll do to make sure that if there was a fire between units or within the unit, that the fire doesn't actually carry to the second floor. So it creates an added protection. That's what this entire wall is a firewall between the two units. That's why wires aren't allowed to go behind. There's just this barrier that protects units from fires within other units.
Alrighty, guys, we ventured out here to the garage to kind of show you the 220 volt, I believe it's right, for the electric car.
Correct. This is all required by Denver. It's been required for a few code cycles, but this is your 50 amp rated 220 for your car charger. If you were to add one, this will be ready to go in all of the units.
And kind of going off that and what has been now required by the city of Denver, can you tell us a little bit about what's the difference between 24 months ago when you were doing electrical work and what they're doing now, and what's going to happen in the next 12 months with Denver Energize, I believe?
Yeah, so the Electrified Denver incentive is making sure that everything is ready for a changeover from natural gas to electrical. So that includes for sure the EV chargers so that everybody has the capability to charge vehicles. That also includes making sure that all the appliances are ready with 220 to be able to change over from natural gas to electrical. That's been the change in the past 24 months, and the upcoming 12 months or so will also have more electrical requirements that the city will start enforcing.
Alrighty, well, we moved out here to the outside to kind of show you the meter stack. Jason, can you explain everything that's kind of here, and obviously this big red pole?
So this is a requirement by XL and the NEC, or National Electric Code, is to have a main disconnect for all structures, and that's for if there was an emergency, they can turn off the entire building. This is a 600 amp disconnect. These are all the meter stacks. The meters themselves are provided by XL. Inside here is the standard 200 amp breaker that feeds the unit itself, and then we'll have all our underground piping that goes underground to each unit, and then there'll also be the secondaries that feed from the transformer as the project continues.
And then why did you do it this way and not on each individual unit?
So this is the most cost efficient setup, is a meter stack and main disconnect. Other ways are more costly and less aesthetically pleasing.
And then kind of reverting back to that Denver Energize, obviously you talked about cost and the reason why we did it out here. How much do you think Denver Energize over the next 12 months is going to add to electrical costs on something like this?
Well, for one, they make it where the services are now always pretty much 200 amp. We used to be able to do around 125 amps to feed each unit. Now it's standard across the board to do 200 amps to make sure we're ready for the Electrified Denver. And then on top of it is all those 220s is just a higher gauge wire, more wiring. So you're looking at potentially upwards of $2,000 extra per unit on our electrical costs just to meet that incentive.
Makes sense. Well, thanks for coming today and talking electrical at Wolfe Townhomes. Next, we'll be doing HVAC.